Hello everyone and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. For those who are new here, my name is Katarina. In this video, you might think I have yet another Valentine's Day card for you, but no. This is actually an anniversary card that I gave my husband for our wedding / first date anniversary. Those two share the same date. And this is also my take or one of my takes on masculine cards. If anyone would like me to make a video on how I approach masculine cards, let me know in the comments. Starting with the main products that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using stamps again, few different brands, but the main stamp set is this one with the guinea pigs, and I'm going to be using the one in the top right corner. The stamp set is from Gerda Steiner Designs, but in my videos, it's not about the stamps. You don't need this exact stamp set to create something similar. I was looking for a stamp with a critter that looks like he can hold a heart. So look through your stash if you can find something similar. I'm going to be using watercolor pencils, so I will be needing a brush. I'm going to use a water brush, but you can also use a normal brush and a jar with water. I also have a watercolor cardstock and a paper towel. To stamp the guinea pig, I'm using the VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. It's a very nice black ink that is waterproof, which is perfect for watercoloring. And I'm using also the Mini Misty stamping tool. If you don't have such a tool, you can use an acrylic block. I prefer to use this tool just because I can restamp. I wanted the guinea pig to be brown with a white tummy, so I took 2 shades of brown that I have. The watercolor pencils are from Faber-Castell. I'm not sure if I'm using the watercolor pencils correctly. I hope so. I colored the guinea pig using first dark brown along the edges, and then with the lighter brown, I filled the middle, leaving the space around the tummy without any color. You can also use 1 shade of brown if you don't have 2. Then I took my water brush. You need to squeeze it to get the water out, and once the water was flowing, I used a paper towel to soak up excess water. And then using the brush, I activated the color and I spread the color around to make it smooth. I also went around the tummy of the guinea pig. I didn't want it to be white, I just want it to be lighter. And as I said, if you don't have a water brush, you can use a normal brush with a jar of water. Once the piece was dry, I decided to do a second layer of the color just to make it a little bit more vibrant, but you can skip this step and only apply the first layer. After the second layer was dry, I took my scissors and I cut out the critter. I'm not sure if the stamp set comes with coordinating dies, but I usually don't buy coordinating dies if the images can be easily cut out with scissors, which saves me money and I can buy more stamps. As I said at the beginning, I wanted the guinea pig to hold a heart. That's why I chose this exact stamp. I don't have any stamps with hearts. I do have dies, but I do not have a die cutting machine at the moment, so I drew the heart myself. To get the right size, I stamped the guinea pig onto a thin paper, then I drew the heart so it fits into its hands, and then I covered the back of the paper with the graphite of the pencil. This way I could just trace it onto the watercolor cardstock. To color the heart, I used a red watercolor pencil, and then with a water brush I activated the pigment and I spread it across the heart, sort of keeping the middle part lighter. Then I took my scissors again and I cut out the heart. You could see the white paper at the edges of the heart, which is okay, but I didn't really like it, so I took the red pencil and I covered the edges with the red color. I didn't use any water for that, I only used the pencil. At this point, you could adhere the critter onto the card base and stamp the sentiment to make a very simple card, but I like to do something with the background and I also wanted to use the watercolor pencils. The only problem was I did not know what to do. There is so many options you can use for the background, and because I was stuck with ideas or with too many options, I had all those watercolor pencils lying around, so I decided to just pick the colors of rainbow. I applied the colors in the top middle part of the panel, and then I came in with the water brush pen and I activated the color. Also, you will need a cardstock that can handle water. The cardstock I'm using for the background is not watercolor cardstock. For the background it was okay, it's thick enough to handle a little bit of water. But if you're unsure, just use a proper watercolor cardstock. Next, I wanted to do something that separates the top part with the background and the bottom part where the sentiment will be. And I thought that some kind of a banner would be good. So I took this striped stamp from Clearly Besotted and I stamped it with a black ink. You can also use a pattern paper for this or a big background stamp. Then I trimmed it down using my paper trimmer. I didn't have an exact measurement in mind, but I also trimmed a piece of black cardstock, which I wanted to be wider than the piece with the stripes. The striped banner I cut at an angle on one side and the black banner I cut into a ribbon end, also just on one side. Before adhering it, I first stamped the sentiment. I needed the banners for correct placement of the sentiment. I'm using here the words "Love You" from the stamp set from Avery L called Peonies, which is an older stamp set. Originally, I wanted to use one of these calligraphy letter stamps. I think the stamp set I have is from Concord and Ninth, but other companies make those as well. But I lost the letter O, which is kind of needed in the word love. I think I lost it when I was tidying and it attached itself into something and I wasn't able to find it. I lost quite a few stamps this way. Anyone else have such problems? Anyways, I adhere the banner and the guinea pig with the heart onto the panel. The striped banner I adhere directly onto the black banner and then I adhere the whole piece onto the panel using double-sided foam tape. And I did the same with the guinea pig and the heart. I adhered the heart directly onto the critter using a glue and then I used a double-sided foam tape for the whole piece. I could have used a foam tape for all the pieces since I wasn't posting this card, but somehow I didn't think about that. Before adhering it onto the card base, I decided to do a black dash line along the edges of the panel to create a border. I think this brings it all together and it complements the black sentiment and the banner. The only thing I wish I had is a thicker fine liner. The one I have is in the size 0.3. I think 0.7 would be a little bit better, maybe. Lastly, I adhere the panel on top of a white card base using a double-sided tape, which finishes the card. I hope you like this video and you will try something similar yourself. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video about masculine cards or if you would like me to make a card for another specific occasion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can follow me on Instagram and Pinterest, and on my blog you can find photos of the card and the supply list. The links you will find in the description below. If you still need a simple and quick card for Valentine's Day, just check out the cards I made in my last two videos, which should be showing on your screens now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.